was one of those mornings that still feels half asleep. You know, where the sun hasn't fully decided to rise yet, the streetlights are still humming faintly, and the cold air hangs heavy with mist. The stores along the road were shuttered, metal grates pulled down, no traffic except the occasional motorbike coughing through the fog. Most people were still asleep. My friend and I were walking to school like we always did, cutting through the same shortcut that passed the old landfill outside of town. It wasn't the nicest route, but it shaved 10 minutes off the walk. And when you're a teenager, 10 extra minutes of sleep feels like everything. That morning felt different. Before we even reached the landfill, I noticed a crowd. People were standing in a tight circle near the edge of the road. Some had their hands over their mouths, others were whispering to each other. A few were craning their necks to see over their shoulders. Then I smelled it. Not the usual garbage smell, something metallic, something sharp. The kind of smell that sticks to the back of your throat, like blood. My friend slowed down. "What's going on?" he muttered. We looked a little closer. The murmuring from the crowd grew louder. "Someone found this morning. Looks like his head. Call the police." That was enough for my brain to put the pieces together. Someone was dead. My stomach tightened immediately. "I think we should go," I said quietly. But my friend leaned forward, trying to peek between people. "No way," he said. "We came this far." I shook my head. "Let's just go to school. We're already late." He looked at me and smirked. "What's wrong? Afraid of seeing a dead body?" The way he said it made a few nearby people glance at us. "I'm serious," I said. "Let's go." He laughed under his breath. "You wait here. I'm going to take a look. I'll be back in a minute." Before I could stop him, he slipped into the crowd. I stayed back on the road, hugging my backpack tightly. People were already calling the police. I could hear someone speaking urgently on the phone. A few others were saying that authorities were on the way. That meant the body wouldn't stay here long. Part of me felt relieved, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. I tried not to look. I really did. But as the crowd shifted slightly, a gap opened between two people. And through that gap, I saw something. A hand. Just a hand lying on the dirt. Pale, completely still. Next to it was a dark pool spreading slowly across the ground. Fresh blood. I looked away immediately, my chest tightening. My friend came back a minute later, looking both excited and disturbed. "Dude," he said breathlessly. I didn't respond. "You should have seen it." "I didn't want to," I said. He lowered his voice like he was sharing some secret. "The guy's head, it's not even attached." I felt a cold shiver crawl down my back. "What do you mean?" "It's like separated," he said, making a slicing motion across his neck. "His body's over there, and his head is a few feet away. Stop!" But the weirdest part, his face is upside down, and his eyes are just open. "Stop talking about it." He shrugged. "Some people took pictures. If I get them, I'll send them to you. Please don't." But he just grinned and started walking towards school. The whole day, I couldn't focus on anything. During class, whispers about the body spread through the entire school. Some kids claimed it was a murder. Others said it was a gang execution. One person swore they heard the man had been tortured first. Rumors grow fast when something horrible happens. By the time school ended, the story had already changed a dozen times. When we walked back past the landfill that afternoon, the crowd was gone. Police tape fluttered in the wind. White chalk markings stained the dirt. One outlined where the body had been, another where the head was found. My friend pointed. "See? Told you." I didn't say anything. We kept walking. That night, the entire neighborhood talked about it. Neighbors standing outside their houses, kids whispering about the pictures, adults speculating about the killer. Even my parents mentioned it over dinner. I pretended not to care, but deep down, curiosity was growing again. I wanted to know what everyone else had seen. I wanted to stop feeling like the only person who had looked away. Later that night, as I was getting ready to sleep, my phone buzzed. A message from my friend. 3 images. My heart started beating faster. I stared at the screen for almost a full minute. Part of me wanted to delete them without opening. But the other part, the curious part, well, it won. I opened the first picture with my eyes closed. Just like a kid about to jump into cold water. Then I slowly cracked one eye open. Just a tiny peek. Then both. The image filled my screen. The man's head laying in the dirt, tilted sideways, almost upside down. His eyes were wide open. Too wide. Dark blood pooled inside them like tiny red lakes. More blood leaked from his nose and mouth. His body was a few feet away, completely lifeless. Something about the angle of the photo made it seem like he was looking at the camera. Looking at me. My chest tightened, and I locked the phone immediately. I sat there for a long time in the dark. Honestly, the hardest part wasn't seeing the image. It was finding my imagination before opening it. All day I had pictured something far worse. So at first, I even felt stupid. Like I had missed an opportunity earlier. If I had just looked that morning, maybe I wouldn't have felt this way. Felt like such a coward. That's what I thought at the time. But that night, the dream started. The first nightmare was simple. Just the head, lying in the dirt, eyes open, staring at me. Second night, it got worse. The man was standing in my room, holding his own head in his hands, blood dripping onto my floor. Sometimes he appeared crying, sometimes shouting, sometimes just staring at me with those same wide eyes from the photo. I don't understand why. I only saw a picture. I wasn't even there when it happened. So why does he keep coming back? I've deleted the images. I avoid the landfill road now, and every night before I sleep, I pray. Because sometimes, just before I wake up, I swear I hear someone whisper beside my bed, and the voice sounds wet, like it's speaking through a mouthful of blood.